It's time to make some chili. I do my chili a little different than most people. I use a slow cooker. It's an all-day event. I use a different type of meat. Don't use beans. Well, you'll see what I mean. I take a green pepper. Usually I use one. Slice that up and take the veins out. If you don't like green peppers, hey, you don't have to use them. If you like yellow peppers, orange, red, whatever peppers you want, or if you don't like peppers at all, it's totally up to you. That's the good thing about chili. Everyone has their own way to do theirs and everyone has their own method. I like a little bit of heat, so I'm going to add a jalapeno. I'm going to take the veins and the seeds out because that's where most of the heat is. If you are sharing this with somebody and they don't like heat, go ahead and take the veins and the seeds out. If you're eating it by yourself and you like heat, leave them in. Give yourself a surprise. Notice I'm wearing the little finger condoms because you don't want to mess around with peppers and then forget that you were messing around with peppers when you go to the bathroom later. I know it looks weird, but I didn't have gloves, so lay off me. I like to dice my jalapenos very fine so that you don't have a surprise of biting into a big chunk of jalapeno. Once you get your jalapenos all diced, go ahead and set that to the side and start working on your meat. So for my meat this time, I used the chuck roast. See, I told you it was different. I like to cut it into chunks, usually 1 to 2 inches. After I get my meat all cut up, then I season it with some salt, some pepper, some garlic powder, onion powder, a little cumin, and then I mix it all up, set that to the side, let it marinate. From here, you can start dicing up your onion. I don't like the flavor of raw onion. It's a little too overpowering for me. But if you like raw onion, some people like to add it to their chili afterwards. You can save some of this raw onion and use it for your chili afterwards. I'm cooking all mine because I don't like the flavor of raw onion. Get you a hot pan with some oil and then start searing your meat. Now, you're not trying to cook the meat. You're just trying to get a nice hard sear on it because that nice hard sear is going to lock in the flavor. Once your meat is beautifully brown, go ahead and take that out and set it to the side. Now for your peppers. I'm using 2 different types of dried peppers. I'm using an ancho pepper and a guajillo pepper. Snip off the tops of those and go ahead and take all the seeds out of there. Some of the peppers have a few seeds and some have a lot. So make sure you get all the seeds out of those because you don't really want those in your chili. A pan that had your meat in it with all those flavorful bits, go ahead and use your onion to pick up all that flavor from the bottom of the pan. Toast those peppers in a dry pan until they start releasing their aroma. Heat up some beef broth while you're toasting your peppers, then add your onions to the slow cooker and add your browned meat. If you don't have an immersion blender, a regular blender will work just fine. You go ahead and put your toasted peppers in whatever container you're using, regular blender or an immersion blender, and then you add your hot beef broth. Let those toasted peppers steep in that hot beef broth. Steep them for about 10 to 15 minutes or until they get nice and soft. Once they get nice and soft, then you can go ahead and blend them or hit them with your immersion blender. Sorry, saying hot beef broth seems to do something to me. Blend that until it's a smooth consistency. Blend that until you get the consistency that you like, and you can go ahead and taste it. Now, warning you, it may not taste how you think it's going to taste. Add your chili sauce to the pot. Next, I add a can of chipotle peppers. I chop those up real fine, almost to a mince. We're not looking for chunks of chipotle peppers here, we're just using the flavor. Add those to the pot. Next, I'm going to add tomatoes, which I'm going to cut open, de-seed, and then chop up. I'm also going to add the juice from those tomatoes and an extra can of crushed tomatoes. Add in your chopped green peppers and your minced jalapeno. And add in several crushed cloves of garlic. And then you're going to season it how you like. I add some more cumin, some salt, some pepper, also some oregano, and some chili powder. Give that a nice mix. I almost forgot, add a bottle of beer. I usually use a stout or a porter, but you can use whatever kind of beer you'd like. I use the Shorts S'more beer because I'm going to add some brown sugar too. Now here's where it gets different. I add lentils instead of beans. Not a huge bean fan, but lentils works in this too. Get your lentils all incorporated. And don't forget the brown sugar. Now comes the hard part, the waiting. I cooked this for about 10 hours. Of course, checking on it periodically to make sure everything's good. And then you see that wooden spoon test. The meat breaks apart when you just touch it with a wooden spoon. That's how you know it's good. Trust me, it's well worth the wait. And now you're ready to eat. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this and you want to make it, let me know how you liked it. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. I'll see you next time.